So Armie Hammer, I don't know if he was like A-list, but he was getting there, star in Hollywood, very good-looking guy, actually descended from the Armie Hammer family. You know, it's kind of crazy. And he got Me Too'd right out of the industry in 2021. And it happened because this one woman with whom he did have an affair, he was married, came forward to say that she had been assaulted by him and raped by him. And then there was a cascade of women who came forward saying, not that they'd been raped by him, but that he was a disturbed guy, that he was into cannibalism is what they were saying. No one alleged that he ate them, but he certainly made a lot of very weird, disturbing comments about wanting to. Like there was a thing with wanting to eat all these women's ribs, like actually put barbecue sauce on the ribs and eat it, like really weird, not normal stuff. And the one woman came out, and of course we had, Q, Gloria Allred, who came in to save the day. Do we have that, you guys? My team? Oh, we don't have it yet. Okay, well, in any event, Gloria Allred came out with the accuser, sad accuser who was raped by Armie Hammer. Well, long story short, he has now, this is Armie and the accuser, he's now given an interview to Airmail, which is fair. And are you guys following Airmail? It's interesting.
Yeah,
I'm into it.
It is very interesting.
It's by Graydon Carter and Alessandra Stanley?
Yeah.
I can't remember the name. It's real. I just paid $80 to subscribe to this thing on an annual basis because it's good. They're doing good reporting on Idaho too. He gave an interview to them, and it turns out this woman who, upon whose allegation, all the rest came forward and like his ruination in Hollywood was based, is extremely sketchy to be charitable. And guess what? Gloria Allred dumped her. And when Gloria Allred won't represent you, you got no case. And the media hasn't covered. And this woman has refused to sign a statement under penalties of perjury, an affidavit or a declaration backing up the claims she's making online against Armie Hammer. So when when push came to shove, she wasn't willing to put it under oath. And there's a real question about, his point is, we did have sort of rough sex, but it was all by design. We'd been together for 4 years having an affair. And he's got all these texts of her. Her texts to him are so filthy and vulgar and seeking out, despicable treatment from him that I can't, I've got a potty mouth and even I cannot read these on the air. So I know you guys are up to speed on the Airmail reporting and the Armie Hammer thing. So what do you make of all of this? Because they exposed some things about the other accusers too, that the media has been very loath to even touch. And this guy's career is completely in ruins.
It reminded me of the first thing I would say is that you said jokingly that, he didn't actually, no one accused them of actually cannibalism. Actually not true. In the piece, his ex-wife, picks up on internet rumors that there was a remains of someone found in California that was close to where his friend had a house. And in this report that she, made people in the Cayman Islands produce about his mental state, she said that there were multiple murder investigations, possibly. This is how far and crazy this went. And of course, his wife is colluding with the accuser because she wants custody of the kids. And it's just in black and white. By the way, people, if you're doing this, why are you texting it? Don't ever text it if you're trying to get away with this stuff. It exists on 2 computers and 2 phones. So that is interesting
and
to me.
The cloud.
But what I found really fascinating about it is that I said this to Matt the other day, who was on the Bill Maher show when this kind of came out. And I think Bill kind of defended him.
Yeah.
And I thought there was something a bit fishy about it and didn't know exactly what, but there was something a bit off about it. And the act of, not defending somebody, but doing investigative journalism on this topic has been so verboten that Jamie Kirchick, who deserves a ton of credit for doing a 9,000-word piece, Jamie's a brilliant guy, he's a friend of ours. But, Jamie doing that, it took somebody, I like Jamie, by the way, who just doesn't really care and is a real tough, hard-nosed journalist.
God bless.
When you look at what happened to Dan Abrams, something happened to Dan Abrams, but Dan Abrams published. Yeah, well, I'm going somewhere interesting in this because Dan Abrams
was he accused of cannibalism? He's a friend.
No, he wasn't accused. He's guilty, but he. I'm
just kidding.
Dan, I know you're a lawyer. Don't sue me.
Just kidding, Dan. We're just kidding.
No, his website Mediaite published Matt Lauer's defense of himself, and that was considered No one read it. Because when you read it, it's actually kind of interesting. You're like, oh, there's some nuances to this. There's some wrinkles to it. There's two sides to it. The button thing that everyone knows about this. Everybody knows one thing about the Matt Lauer story is that he has a button on the inside of his desk that locks people in. That's not true. But yet everybody knows it. And he discusses that and other things. And he got, Abrams got a ton of crap for this, just for allowing him a platform to say, here's my side of the story. There shouldn't be his side. And then there's the guy from, I think it was Ian Baruma, who was the editor of the New York Review of Books, who published this Canadian guy, Janesh, something or other, a Canadian media figure who had been accused of all sorts of sexual assaults and crimes. And he got fired for publishing that piece. Was the piece good? I don't know. I didn't read it, but he was fired for publishing it. So the fact that this happened so many years later, its sense to me is that the kind of fog is lifting a little bit. But there was nobody. If you said, I have a defense, not even a defense, but I have the other side, I have Armie Hammer's side. Not a lot of people are going to publish that when it happened in 2000, 2001. And now it seems slightly different because that piece is really interesting. And you can think, as you said, Megyn, that, it's kind of weird, the stuff that he's texting, right? It's not my cup of tea.
It's 100% weird.
Yeah, it's like BDSM stuff. But as somebody in the piece said, some Hollywood producer is like, you hear this word in other places, kink shaming, this phrase, right? Apparently that's what we're doing here, kink shaming, but that is not okay in other contexts, but it was here because it's just, it's a weird fetish.
Well, because he also comes out and says that he was the victim of child sex abuse when he was younger and it went on for a year and it was, I think, a member of the clergy and that's what led to his need for domination and control in sexual encounters. Like it was a defense, but he seems to be taking responsibility for much of his bad behavior, but again, it's sort of not an excuse, but an explanation for some of these very bizarre practices he's into. But I mean, I will say, because we talk about this on the college campus situation all the time, how these guys get tried in these kangaroo courts that are run by, quote, victims advocates. Oh, what a shock. It doesn't come out their way. And then when they don't even have a right to full discovery, thanks Joe Biden, because he's re-implementing the Obama policies right now. And then when they get their hands on a text message from the girl or a letter she's written to somebody else, the colleges don't even care. They're like, you were found guilty. This actually happened with a guy at Amherst, I think, who came out with text messages with the girl showing like, oh, I totally did him. I loved it. I brought him over. Nope, they didn't care. Too bad. You've already been found convicted. Move on. You're a sex offender. And in this case, Airmail lays out how this alleged accuser, the Gloria Allred client, sent Hammer after the alleged rape. And I'm not going to read this, but I'll just give you a flavor because I know people are like, read it. The following text. And she writes, helplessly horny. This is after her alleged rape. And I just need to tell you, because it's been so long since last time, I've been blanking more so hard and screaming, my leg's going to be effed in ballet. I'm dying to send you pics of just disgusting things and hear you breathing in my ear. And I can't say the rest, but it's filthy. This is a filthy, filthy text by any standard. This is after her alleged rape. This would have been really useful to see. This is why I'm guessing that in her refusal to sign a sworn statement, the police in LA moved right on. There's no charges against Armie Hammer, and there won't be. But the sad thing is the media moves right on too, and there's a difference between having a fetish and having some issues in the bedroom and being a rapist.
Yeah, it's, reading Jamie's piece, which is very good. I mean, Jamie's good at his job, so I'm not surprised. But it did remind me a lot of the Amy Cooper situation that I did some reporting on, and the difficulty of being a person who has your back against the wall, Karen, who is facing this wall of indictments. And in his particular case, there are all of these women coming out of the woodwork, kind of pointing an accusatory finger at him. They're not all saying the same thing, which is very important. But in a moment like that, there's no interest in differentiating. And I could only imagine that even if he brought these text messages forward to show them to a journalist, that they, in some instances, and I could tell you that this certainly happened with the Amy Cooper thing, they're not even interested in publishing material that conflicts with the dominant narrative that is out there right now.
They're afraid.
Apart from finding someone like Jamie, a year removed from the original drama, you might not really have an opportunity to tell your own story. And this is a guy who had some resources, who had some means, who had a profile, and wasn't able to do that. These things, not only does it happen, as you were just pointing out, Megyn, to celebrities, it can happen to kids who are in college. It can happen to anonymous individuals. And it's the reason why we ought to always reserve a bit of judgment, exercise some skepticism, and ask thoughtful questions here. I mean, the fact that this woman would not swear to an affidavit is a massive deal. And the fact that no
Huge.
Journalists reported on this at all at the time is horrendous. And it says a great deal about the state, the horrible state of the national prestige news media.
What's your gift going to be this Valentine's Day? How about taking 10 or 15 years off your appearance with Genucel skincare? It's a gift to yourself. Right now, every one of their most popular packages, that's all their best stuff, is 70% off. By the way, I love the most popular packages. They idiot-proof it for you. If you're like, I don't even know where to begin, you just get one of those and they will walk you through it. It's like introduction to good skincare. And this includes the next breakthrough in skincare technology. Right now, they're offering their probiotic moisturizer absolutely free. These super ingredients found in yogurt can have the same nourishing benefits and goodness for your skin. Probiotic extracts can target bad bacteria on the surface of your skin to restore balance to your skin's microbiome for a noticeably clearer complexion and visibly younger appearance. See those fine lines, wrinkles, dark spots, sagging jawline, and even bags and puffiness visibly disappear right before your eyes, thanks to Genucel. Plus, with its immediate effects product, see results in under 12 hours guaranteed or your money back. Go to Genucel.com/MK60 right now. And for the first time ever, every order at Genucel.com from now through Valentine's Day will include a beauty box with 2 luxury gifts. Order now, 2 weeks only. Genucel.com/MK60. 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 Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.